Hi, thanks so much for joining me. I'm Danny, otherwise known as the Glittered Rose, here on YouTube, but also on Instagram. For those who are new to my channel, I'm a mixed media artist who enjoys making cards, tags, art journals. I also run a Facebook group called The Glittered Roses. So we have monthly challenges, and this month is purple. So I thought I would make a card and a matching envelope for this challenge, and I have to say, I'm so excited to share it with you. I love what I've created. So these items feature the gorgeous set from Tim Holtz, Stampers Anonymous, called Rest in Peace. And I just think it's so cool. When I saw it, I knew I needed it, and I thought purple would be perfect for this. So it's got lots of sort of collage stamping with some die cut elements, some stitching, just lots of fun stuff. I've really had a great time making it. I've used my favorite Distress Oxide color, and that's Villainous Potion, along with other oxide sprays, inks, and crayons. Um, I've also used some embossing glaze in the background. It's just really a fun card, and I hope that you'll stick around. Let me know down below what you think. I love reading all your comments. Hit the like button, and if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so today I want to start with some stamping. I'm going to use a fantastic set called Rest in Peace by Stampers Anonymous. And you've got gorgeous, um, fairly large images and lots of typography type of fillers, which I think are great. Start with showing you how I made the card, and then we'll make an envelope together. I've got a brand new tool that I'm so excited about. So I'm just stamping these out. My two main images I'm going to stamp out using VersaFine Clear in just a black ink, and then I'm going to heat emboss them both. I'm using frosted crystal. I just absolutely love the texture of this. It's got a little bit of a sparkle. It's, I don't know why, but it is very different to just your plain normal clear embossing powder. I love it. So that's what I'm using. I'll probably, um, I'm going to emboss and cut these out off camera so you're not sitting around watching me do this because I'm it would be very boring. There's some fantastic typography stamps along with the skull in this set, and it was really hard to choose which one I wanted to go for. But in the end, I think Condemned will win because if I have to cover it up with the skull, you can sort of still get the idea of what it is. So that's my thoughts behind Condemned. I'll just heat emboss these now, and then we'll be back to work on the background. Okay, so today I'm going to be working on an A2 card. So this is cut down a little bit smaller so I can have a bit of a black border. And to start off with, we're going with our oxide sprays. So we've got Villainous Potion and Ice Spruce. I think that they're quite nice colours. They'll go together nicely. After I've sprayed these, I will work out other colours that they'll need. So, um, yeah, I think it needed a bit of water. So I've just added some water onto that cardboard and going in. I'm just using some smooth cardstock because I'll be stamping after it's dry. Otherwise, I probably would have used a watercolor cardstock. I think when you spray flat in comparison to when you have it standing up, it does give a very different look. So I thought I'd stand this one up. I don't mind a little bit of drips in the background as well. I think that looks nice. I'm having trouble with the spray on this one. I grabbed out black soot and it's not spraying very well. I'll figure that one out later. Okay, so I'm going to replace it with walnut stain, and I think this is nice. It just gives that little bit of earthiness with the purple. I'm also going to grab out Villainous Potion, but not in an oxide, just a spray stain, and spray that for a little bit more vibrancy. I'm hoping to get this nice and purple. So the current challenge in my Facebook group called the Glittered Roses is purple. So any paper craft that features the color purple, we'd love to see it. So if you'd like to join the challenge, be sure to join the Facebook group and jump in and join. We've had some fantastic entries this month for purple. It's really great seeing people challenge themselves and make something that they might not usually. Okay, so that's nice and purpley and dry. I have to say the cardstock surprised me. It held up quite well to all that water, so it looks nice. Now I'm just popping it on my Misty, and I'm going to just randomly collage stamp the different elements that this set came with. Again, I'm just going to use Versifying Clair in Nocturne and stamp the background. I love sets like this with the extra little bits and pieces. I've always loved collage stamping, and I think that this makes it really easy. Okay, so I want to try some stenciling with embossing glaze. So I've got a embossing pen here, brush pen, and I'm just filling in those areas on my stencil. I don't want them to be perfect, so that's why I'm doing it this way. And just popping in areas that I want some of the embossing glaze to go. I think using embossing glaze on this sort of project is perfect because embossing glaze is translucent, so I'll be able to see the stamping underneath it. So you're not covering up, you're just sort of adding to it, if that makes sense. I got the supplies, or a lot of the supplies that I'm using in this video, from a fantastic Australian store. So if you're in Australia, be sure to check out Crafty Divas. I'll be sure to pop a link in my description box below. I find that their prices are amazing. They post super quick and they're always so quick to respond. I really think that they're a fantastic Aussie company. And they sell all the stuff that I love, so what's not to like about them? I should mention that I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I'm not affiliated with anyone. I just think that when someone impresses you and they offer good service and everything's right, then why not tell other people about them? So be sure to check them out. All right, I'm going to heat emboss this and we'll be back. Okay, so I've heat embossed it and I think that's looking good. It's just added a little bit of texture and a bit of extra interest. And I've also done some stitching with my sewing machines. So just a bit of crazy stitching. I like the look of it, a bit grungy, a little bit uneven. Okay, so now I'm just auditioning where I think things might go. I'm not really sure where to put them. And I'm not really sure if I want to keep it white or if I want to colour them. I think I like things like that. I don't want to use the whole skull because that background is so gorgeous. I don't want to cover it up, and the skull is quite a large stamp. I had some internal drama going on. Do I keep it white or do I age it? And I've decided to age it. So I am just roughing up that condemned with some scissors. I don't want it to be perfectly straight. So just with the blade of the scissors, I'm just roughing it up. I know that you can get a Tim Holtz tool that does this, but scissors works really well. So that looks good. That looks really rough. I'm going to grab a blending brush now, just a stencil brush, and we'll age it. I'm just using TGR oxide just to add a bit of colour and make it look a little bit um, well aged, a bit rough. So where it's roughed up and where the paper bent a little bit, that's picking up more of that ink, and I think that looks really nice. Looks good. I'm just going to flick a little bit of water on that just to make it a little bit sort of motley. And now I'm going to age. What should we name him? I think he should have a name. I don't know, maybe Fred. Dead Fred. So we'll we'll age Fred. I have to say he's got a good set of teeth. All right, that's looking pretty good. I think it's coming together really well. For a fairly simple card, so far I'm happy. Okay, so I've just grabbed out my mini, I'm not sure what it's called, my mini, well, it's like the little mini stapler that Tim Holtz has put out. So I'm just stapling this on rather than gluing it. I think it'll add a little bit of dimension and bit of interest rather than it being glued down. Yep, I'm happy with that. I'm going to be popping him on a black base. So I want that head to go to the edge of the card. So I won't trim it until the card is put together. So I think that the card's looking really good, but I think it does need something. So I've grabbed out my die set called Moonlight. It's number 666386 by Sizzix and Tim Holtz. And I've just die cut out some little bats and I'm going to glue them on randomly. Aren't they gorgeous? Just again auditioning where I think they should go. And I think that looks good. I think they look like they're coming towards you in that sort of how I've popped them down. I think when I glue them, I'm just going to glue the round bodies and not the wings, just so that they're not pinned down. There's a little bit more 3D-ness to them. I'm going to glue the card down. So I've got an A2 panel, a white card base, and I'll pop the cards together and I'll be back. I keep saying cards, but it's card. There's just one card. All right, so I want to chop off that skeleton head. So I wanted him going over the black border. So I'm just going to line him up on the guillotine and make sure I don't chop the card base. Just chop the skeleton's head off. Yep, that looks good to me. And that's the card pretty much finished. I'm really happy with it. So let's get on to making the envelope now. Actually, on second thoughts, the card isn't quite finished yet. I just had a thought. I'm going to grab a boggly eye that I only just bought and see what I think. Oh, yep. It makes me giggle. Oh, I love it. Yep. Boggly eye's gonna stay. All right, let's make the envelope. I don't know what it is, but I really love a textured, heavy envelope, ones that sort of feel linen-y, like linen paper. So I'm going to use this Canson paper, and I've cut it out using my 123 punch board. This is the first envelope I've ever made, and I have to say, it was pretty easy. So if anyone's interested in the 123 punch board, let me know in the comments down below, and I might just do a review and a video on how to use it because I think it's great. Unfortunately, my camera decided not to focus while I was spraying my envelope, but it's just the same method that I used to create the background of the card. I've used the same colors and the same techniques, and I've got a very similar effect. However, I will say it's not quite as purple as I want. So now I'm just going over the top with some Villainous Potion Oxide ink pad and blending that just to bring out the purple and make it a little bit punchier. I think the envelope turned a little bluer than I wanted. So just by adding that purple back on top, it just gives it that little bit more purpleness. And since it's for the Glittered Roses Facebook group, um, purple challenge, I really want it purpley. Okay, so now I'm just going to decorate this envelope. I'm not worrying too much. I'm going to randomly stamp around the place. I've popped some printer paper behind it just to act as that cushion, and I'm not worried too much if it doesn't stamp properly. It's just an envelope. Can you imagine getting a card in the mail and it says condemned and poison on the front? I think that would be really funny. I wonder what Australia Post would say. So just going to randomly stamp it. This paper is quite textured, so I am aware I'm probably not going to get the best stampings, but that doesn't matter. I'm being mindful that I'll need to pop a label on the front to put a name or an address depending on what happens with this card, so I'm not filling the center up too much. So I'm just folding it just to see how it will come together, if I'm liking how it's looking, and so far I really am. I've grabbed out another set, and this one's Curiosity Shop, so I think this will work well with it. It's been many, 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 many years since I've decorated an envelope. We used to call it mail art in the stamping world. I'm talking 20 years ago. So this is a bit different. I think I ink blended envelopes before and stamped collage. So similar but different. Okay, so I've grabbed out a Distress crayon in Omnious Twilight, which was a Halloween release. And you can really tell with names like this that Tim Holtz is a Halloween fan. I love that name, and I love Villainous Potion and things like that. I think it's really cool. So I've just got my stencil and a damp finger, and I'm just rubbing that crayon onto my finger, and then I'm rubbing it into the paper. And this will give it a nice sort of a twinkle. And by the time it sets, because it'll set quite hard, it'll be nice and permanent. So, and look at how filthy my fingers are getting. I love it. Pretty, pretty, pretty. It's a very subtle sort of an effect, but I love it. Okay, so I've grabbed a stencil brush and now I'm going around the edges with black soot just to frame it and bring your eye into the middle. I've made a massive mess on the back of this envelope, so I think I'm gonna line it. Um, I'll do that off camera and glue it all together, and then we'll be back and I'll show the finished product. Before we get to the finished envelope, I just wanted to share that I'm popping on a sentiment, and this says remember the now. I thought this was good because remember the now because soon you'll be dead. So that's my idea behind that. And here we are, all finished. I just love it. I love the texture of that envelope. It feels so nice, and it looks old and grungy, but still cool. And there's the card, all finished, fits in the envelope. I don't think I could be happier. I had so much fun making it, and I think the boggly eye just makes it. Let me know down below if you like the boggly eye. I think my mum thought I was a bit crazy buying them. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. By hitting likes and sharing and leaving comments, it really tells YouTube that my new channel is worth suggesting to other people. So I really appreciate it. It really helps me. Um, I really just want to grow the channel. So I appreciate any support or help that I can get. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Till next time.